Latin per diem, Augustine of Hippo, Confessions 2:5. Propter universa haec atque huius modi peccatum admittitur, dum immoderata in ista inclinatione, cum extrema bona sint, meliora et summa deseruntur, tu, Domine Deus noster, et veritas tua, et lex tua, habent enim et haec imma delectationis, sed non sicut Deus meus, qui fecit omnia, quia in ipso delectatur justus, et ipsa est delicii rectorum corde. Augustine now concludes, Propter, because of all these things, universa haec, and things huius modi, of this type, here in the genitive, sin is allowed, admittitur, it comes into our hearts, we might say. While, by an immoderatione inclinatione, by an excessive reverence or tendency in ista toward these things, although they are good, they are the lowest kinds of good, meliora et summa deseruntur, the better and highest goods are abandoned, deseruntur. Here we have a third plural present indicative passive verb. You may have heard some hesitancy in my construal of cum. Cum here with the subjunctive could be either causal, concessive, or temporal. Namely, it could mean because, it could mean although, or it could mean when. I think it is probably concessive, but it's possible it's causal as well. Instead. So what are these better and highest things that are abandoned? He says, you, O Lord our God, and your truth and your law. So each one of these things is good in its own way, and in fact the best. They are better and higher, and sometimes the things of earth compete with these three. Here we have Domine Deus noster as a masculine, singular, and vocative. O Lord our God. He continues, for, that's the conjunction, inferential, they have, meaning even these lower things, haec ima, these very lowest things, they have delectationes. They have their own pleasures. Now, ima here is to remind us from the previous sentence of infamis. Remember the phrase cum, etc., infamis, and pulchris. So these low things contain their own pleasures, but not like Deus meus, not like my God, qui fecit omnia, who made all things, reminding us of the source of God's, the display, I should say, of God's greatness, that he is the creator of all things. And then the final clause, because the just man, Justus, is pleased in God himself, delights in God himself, and he himself, now, meaning God, is the delicii, the pleasure, the delight of those who are upright in heart. Rectorum as a masculine plural genitive is a substantive adjective, and corda in the ablative of specification. Finally, we have a good example here of predication. Ipsa is functioning as a substantive adjective, and its predicate is delicii. Notice when a noun is predicated of another substantive, they must agree in case, but the gender and the number can differ, as they do here. I hope you've enjoyed this series on Augustine.